Physical activity is an essential factor in the lives of all individuals. It promotes not only the physical aspects of one's life, whilst eliminating the rising tide of obesity, but also assists in the sustainability and development of mental, emotional, spiritual, and social health and well-being. Sport has been a vital factor in my life as it has allowed me to not only stay physically active, leading a healthy lifestyle, but also has allowed me to create new friendships with those playing alongside me. The endorphins released while playing sports, such as basketball, soccer, and tennis, have always been able to lift my mood, even when I'm feeling down. I have always enjoyed the feelings of success that come from winning a game or performing to the best of my ability. I have always loved the feeling of celebrating a victory with my friends, especially when I know how hard we all have worked leading up to it. But even the games we didn't win, I was always able to be proud of my teammates and myself because I still knew just how hard we all worked to get where we did. But I also know, no matter how much I love sport, that other people have different passions, other things they're interested in. I know that physical education doesn't necessarily mean the same thing to everyone. Not everyone gets that rush of excitement that I get. Some people despise sports and running and anything that involves physical activity. But I also believe that everyone is able to find something in sports or physical activity in general that genuinely makes them happy, whether that be simply walking their dogs or riding a bike. For me, that's competitive sports. I love competition and the feeling of being challenged. I'm in love with the feeling of rushing against the clock to try and score just one last point to win a big game. Physical activity provides me with a distraction from everyday life, an escape. Sports provide me with that feeling that I can't get anywhere else. And put simply, it's what's inspired my love for physical activity as a whole. I've always loved to move, and my family has always encouraged me to be active. But I didn't play organised sports from a young age like many children. I didn't always crave that rush that comes with competing. My mum always thought that kids who started playing sport at a young age burn out and lose interest as they grow older. She wanted to wait until I was old enough to decide for myself what sports I was interested in, before she pushed me into anything. Sometime in grade 4, I moved to a new school and I was making all these great new friends. I started to take an interest in competitive sports for the first time in my life. Unfortunately, everyone seemed so much bigger than me and so much better when we played sports at recess and lunch. They were all stronger and I could never stack up against them when we played. The tough sports like footy and basketball seemed like such a challenge for me, and for the first time in my life, I'd felt completely incompetent about my sporting ability. I was afraid that if I tried to play sports competitively, I would embarrass myself or get injured by all the much bigger boys. I avoided contact sports for years because of this. My confidence was extremely low, and I felt like I had something to prove. As I moved into high school, I found a new group of friends. They played softer sports, such as soccer and tennis, and I found that I had a much better natural ability for these sports. My lack of size wasn't as much of an issue as it had been in the past, and I slowly started building back up my confidence. At school, I was beginning to get my first taste of success in sports. I was trying all these new sports, and I managed to make both the school soccer team and the school tennis team. Because of this, I finally felt ready to play sports outside of the school, and I started playing competitively. I joined an indoor soccer team with my school friends, and I started playing tennis on the weekends with my brother. My indoor soccer team had immediate success, and we won the grand final our first season. I built up a camaraderie with my teammates, and we signed up for the next season. I also went undefeated for my entire first season of tennis. This was great as I finally felt like I could succeed in sports, even though I hadn't played for as long as everyone else. As the years went on, I finally started to grow and I was beginning to match my friends and opponents physically. This again helped me build up my confidence further. I decided to join a team. Week after week I continued to play until eventually I became the team's leading scorer. At the start of the year, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and started seeing a psychologist. I found myself losing interest in sports and I began quitting from all my teams. I lost almost 10 kilos in 2 weeks and I started developing body issues because of this. I hope to eventually regain my passion for sports and make my way back into the world of competitive basketball.